von der Frau Samuelsson
Genau.
von Gigasense zum Thema Nullunfälle im Bergbau. Ich bin gespannt, was Sie uns erzählen.
Bin ich auch.
Bitte sehr.
Dankeschön. Thank you. How many of you are German? Wie viele sind Deutsch? Good, because I decided to make this presentation in English to reach more participants. And I do know German. Ich kenne Deutsch, wenn Sie Fragen haben. I wish to speak about, well, today's theme is this efficient, reliable, and sustainable mining. We have our vision at Gigasense on efficient mining to have no unnecessary stops in your process, and that the definition of reliable is consistently good, and that our products last for a long time. And that in sustainable mining, we think both about the environment and about you to stay safe. So I wish to focus a lot on safety today and the zero vision on accidents in mining. Let me see. Here. My name is Marie Samuelsson. I have a Master of Science degree in engineering. And I'm the Chief Executive Officer of Gigasense. It's a Swedish company. And I have worked there since 2010. Now, I have mixed feelings about talking about safety in mining today with you, as not even 2 weeks ago, we had a serious accident in Turkey. We were not involved. But as you know, all accidents cannot be prevented. And I don't know of a product available today that could have prevented this explosion where 41 people lost their lives. At Gigasense, we have a lot of safety components, and we wish for all people in mining to stay safe. And usually when you work in heavy-duty industry, you may have come across accidents, and you may have seen one happen, or you may also have made one accident not happen. Gigasense, as a Swedish company, it was founded in 1951. And that gives us over 70 years of experience of safety in heavy-duty industry. On tiresome days when my energy is low, I think about this, how many lives we may have saved during those 70 years. And it makes me proud, and it gives a lot of energy. We are a privately owned company with a financially strong owner who encourages us every day to develop more products for safe industry. And if you work in the mining or the metal production, you may have come across our products as the PIAB brand, also called PIAB. This dynamometer is one of the first products we made in the 1950s. Efficient mining is, among other things, to have no unnecessary stops in your process. And you need good equipment to protect your machinery, and you need also good routines and to be well organized. These are photographs from Piparwar, area of Central Coal Fields Limited. This is a subsidiary of Coal India. In this coal mining, a high-precision potentiometer is used to give a signal, a robust signal, and to give the safety equipment to not have overload on the conveyor belts. A dynamometer with a potentiometer gives a load output and to this analog readout load limiter. This I have learned is a very popular product for the personnel because they can just take a quick glance at this analog scale and see if the conveyor belt has a good balance, that it's not overloaded or not too slack. When we talk about safety, we also wish to stress the importance of your process. Do you control your process, or is somebody else setting new requirements? Maybe the circumstances have changed. Production might be speeding up, and the wear of components and machinery will be increased thereby. I always stress the advantage of maintenance-free products, but I know that all machinery with moving parts, they need maintenance. And if circumstances are changed, you need to keep track that the equipment you are using is still correct and that the settings are correct. Maybe someone said you have to increase your production by 30%, or you make one more shift every day, and then you need to change maybe your components, your machinery, the preventive maintenance to some other routines. Gigasense has the widest product range on safety in heavy lifting and also in measuring heavy forces. This is a survey of many of our products, not all, and our products range from these load cells like this force transmitter to electronic units for overload protection. You may have this type of lifting rope mounted load cell or a shaft load cell. The very good thing about lifting rope mounted load cells and load limiters is that they do not interfere with the construction of the machinery, which is sometimes extremely important for warranty matters. We know that in mining, such angle measurement units are very good because they prevent oblique pulling or side pulling. And I will go into a little detail about that on the next slide. We also provide large format displays to be able to see what load do you have right now, as well as anti-collision systems for heavy-duty industry and track-bound equipment. So for the protection from side pulling, where if you have an angled lifting rope with tension, you may damage a lot of parts in your machinery. So with this equipment, you can decide that, for example, at this angle, you're allowed to lift 20 ton. And at this angle, maybe only 15 ton. And you can all decide which angles, which forces that will be allowed. And you will get an I/O output that you can use to decide what to do in your equipment. when we look at reliable products, we define them as consistently good in quality or performance and able to be trusted. The Gigasense users find our products very efficient and reliable. They will not fail. And you set the load limits for your excavator or conveyor belt, and you decide the action of the I/O output. And Gigasense products usually last several decades, and they are maintenance-free. These photographs are from Schwarze Pumpe in Germany. It was previously owned by Swedish Vattenfall, but they had to sell it to keep our goals of sustainability for the environment. This is to show you that we think of quality in every component. So the brick feathers we use are free, almost completely free from wear. They will last around 20 million cycles. These are now installed in this load limiter. It is a mechanical product that will, where we set a value of, for example, 5,372 kilograms as your load limit, and it will cut the load, the lifting operation when you reach the preset value. And these specially designed spring washers will last for decades in your, and they will be maintenance-free. Safety should not depend on whether you lubricated some parts or not. Remember that around 80% of the accidents are caused by the human factor. And when we work with our vision, world-leading safety, we want no lubrication to be required. And also when you change lifting ropes, you should not have to do a calibration of your instrument. Because if you forget, it might give you less safety. There will be no exchange of parts after some work hours, and you get decades of continuous smooth operation. In Sweden, we have a lot of statistics. Sometimes I think almost as much as in Germany. And our government has set up a zero vision against deadly accidents at work. Still, in last year, in 21, 39 people died only in Sweden at work. You go to work and you believe that this is something you do for your living, and that the managers at your workplace will keep you safe. And this, I find, is very important. We cannot decide to avoid safety somehow by saving money or trying to reduce investments that will keep all workers safe. In Sweden, we have 10 million inhabitants, just so you can compare with the over 80 million you have in Germany. The most risky business is in Sweden, says Swedish Work Environment Authority, is transport and storage. That's where most accidents occur, often with trucks. water supply, sewage treatment, waste management, and sanitation. The capital-intensive manufacturing industries, number 3. Public administration and defense, compulsory social insurance, it's number 4. Extraction of minerals, where I believe many here work, is number 5. Agriculture, forest, fishing, number 6. I've met some in the booth who work with that. And construction activities that are also involved in mining is number 7. So here at bauma, we have many risky businesses represented. I wish to ask, are all aspects of mining risky? You have machinery that is moving, and you have people moving around and in the machines. We have digging, we have earth, sand, coal, other parts that you do in mining. And there is always a risk for landslide. There is a terrible risk of explosion, and also the risk of transport. And you have cranes and heavy lifting operations. So I have come to the conclusion that every process in mining is dangerous. What do you do to make a safe workplace? I say start with your risk assessment. You know that this is something you must do. The green parts in this slide are the low risk operations. But this is something you need to estimate in your own workplace. And then the yellow part is the mid-risk. There you need to take action within 1 month. And the red part is the high risk, where you need action immediately, or someone might get injured or even die. So you have the probability and the consequence, and you usually estimate that from 1 to 5, and then do a calculation of the probability times the consequence, and you get a number where 25 will be the maximum. Safety aspects must live everywhere in your organization. It is always the boss's responsibility, but if the responsibility is not distributed to each and everyone to feel the responsibility of safety, then safety will fail. And aspects must be considered in many decisions on a workplace. And when customers choose a less safe or a cheaper solution just to save money, it makes me very sad. For overload protection and functional safety, the requirement of redundancy safety systems has become an issue since 2014, where changes in the directives and standards we followed were implemented. So that's why I know that sometimes a customer might choose a not redundant system just to save money, but on the other hand, they will have less safety. If you have a redundant system, for example, for overload protection, you will never have the risk of one digital signal getting locked, because there would always be 2 signals and they will be compared. So, you know, in Sweden we have big successful companies where we need to also, as a provider of components, need to follow their lead, like SSAB, Swedish Steel. I wish to give some last words to make your workplace as safe as possible. think of the planning and organization. I already said that 80% of the accidents depend on the human factor, then 20%, the rest is about equipment. What you might not know is that 70% of accidents happen due to organizational issues, and only 30% depend on the individual. This might be that you do not have the right competence for the work you are set to do, or it might not be possible for you to keep your process safe. Maybe you lack personnel. If someone should be supervising another person and there's only one to access, how will you do it? Choose the best maintenance-free safety equipment. And I would love if you choose Gigasense, of course. Make sure you have the right knowledge, education, training, and do it every year. You cannot expect that someone will always remember. And you know that repetition is very good. And make a journal of the maintenance and ongoing supervision, the controls that you make on equipment, and operation of machine-driven equipment, because they will need maintenance. So we have in Sweden very successful and environmentally conscious companies who are our customers, and we must live up to their goals too. The world's biggest Swedish mining company, LKAB, will be carbon-free by 2045, as will also Swedish Steel. And they are working hard to achieve these goals. And when we at Gigasense think of sustainable mining, it's one of the 3 words today, we do think about the environment. We also want our products to have little carbon dioxide in the whole process, from the cradle to the grave, and no unnecessary transports and things like that. That's why we produce most of the parts in Sweden. But with sustainable, we also think of you as people who we want to keep safe. This is also a very important part of sustainability. I hope you have some questions for me. It's always interesting because I've come to the last slide where I wish to just summarize that we find that efficient mining is to have no unnecessary stops in your process, and where we work to keep our products to be safe and not do any unnecessary operations. And reliable products that are consistently good in quality and performance, and that are able to be trusted, and that will last for many decades without maintenance. And also the sustainable mining, to care for our environment, where the most important part is you, and that our vision from Gigasense is that there will be zero accidents in your mining industry. Thank you very much. Are there any questions for us? It could be anything. Yes. You will get a microphone.
Hello, thank you.
Thank you.
The BBC article you showed at the very beginning of the presentation. So can you tell us more about what actually happened? You said it was actually kind of unstoppable in its nature.
The accident in Turkey. it's we were not involved. I just took the photograph from BBC. It was an explosion in a mine in Turkey, and it was I believe Friday, the week before last. But there's a lot of, if you just Google it, you will find a lot of information. It is sad that accidents like that happen still. I would love some more questions. Do you have any? If not, thank you so much for listening. And if you think of questions later on, you're very welcome to our booth in it's I'm starting to learn how to find my way. It's that direction, hall A2, and it's booth number 625-3. We have a big bauma plus square above us. Thank you.